Good evening and welcome to another video by Rideshare UK, the channel that actually gets under the skin of Uber. And on today's video, this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about, and what I'll be doing is getting under the skin of Uber. Right, today something extraordinary has happened. Every driver is talking about it on WhatsApp, on Facebook, you name it. They're all talking about it. And to be honest, the emotions are varied. Some are angry, some are very frustrated. Some are even thinking of changing their careers after what has happened today. And hopefully, on my video here, I'll try and make sense out of everything that's what is happened. Right, so yesterday, I think it's the 22nd, I don't even know what day it is actually, you would have received the email which I'm showing you right now. I'm not going to read it out to you. And basically, it talks about, it's all nonsense by the way, how the balance of riders and drivers needs to be, I don't know what it is. And that all equates to lower waiting times. I haven't come across anyone who said to me, I've been waiting a long time for a taxi. But, let's just play along with what they're saying. And at the same time, this is going to give us an opportunity to earn far more if we do what they're proposing doing, which is they're introducing a variable base fare. Now, what does that mean exactly? Right, so we'll be talking about a bit of that on this video. We'll be talking about how things are going to affect you guys, how we're going to overcome it, and oh look, there's even a job. And what we're going to do about it, and what the actual truth of all this is. Okay, so let me just move on to the next clip. Okay, so firstly, what we need to understand is, and for those who don't know, that is, what is a base rate? Right, so a base rate is a component that actually makes up your final fare, and it is broken down into four categories there, how your fare would be. So initially, I'm using a Birmingham example over here. It's got a minimum fare of £4.25. Then it's got per minute, which charges 10p. Then per mile, which is £1.10. By the way, £1.10 is really bad. It's probably one of the worst ones in the country. Then what we're talking about on this video, the base rate. Can you see that? Which is set at £1.40. So what they're doing here now, right? They're saying the base rate is going to be called a variable base rate. Wow. Right, and so what is a variable base rate? A variable base rate basically means that base rate of £1.40 can be completely vanished and gone to zero. So in return, you'll be paid £1.40 less the total of your fare. So that is a maximum. A maximum you could lose here now per job is £1.40. And also what they're saying is, look, sometimes it could go down to 25p. Now, this is whatever. I'm just making this up because I've seen 25p displayed today. It could go down to 25p. So rather than £1.40, you're going to get 25p as a base rate. Or it could stay the same. £1.40, let it stay the same. And also what they're saying is, look, sometimes we could actually increase this to £2.10 or whatever it is they want to do. They could increase it. So that is what a base rate is. Okay, so we know what a base rate is. Now, what I've done now is showing you how this base rate can fluctuate throughout, say, a day or whatever amount of hours I've done here. Firstly, apologies, for this graph. It might not be the best, but you know what? There's nothing else to do, so it might as well be the best I could do. Right, so what can you see here? Right, let me just get my pen out. Right, this graph is showing you how frequently the movement of the base rate can be and how varied it is. And obviously this is just an example. So on this side here, you got the base rate tier, and that is basically from 0 to £2.10. It could be anything, by the way. And on this line here is the demand chart. Okay, so say for instance you started your shift at 10 a.m. in the morning there, and so that's your original base rate. Remember, I got that from down there. There it is, the base rate, the original base rate, and that's why I've done a straight line through there, actually, just to show you how you can differentiate. Okay, so 10 a.m. here, demand is low. They're going to decrease that to, I don't know, 75p base rate. By 11 a.m. that could decrease it again by 25 up to down to 25p a base rate. So you are really getting a hit here now because of the demand not being much. Now, I do not for one single minute believe that the way they're saying that, you know, this will increase the actual people ordering cab by the, you know, looking at the base rate. I'm not sure how they actually work this. I mean, do they send a alert saying base rate is at nil? Do you want to order a cab? You know, do you want to go to the hospital now because the base rate is 0? I've no idea, and I'll tell you why. This is just a gimmick. This is something they're feeding us to believe, but please don't believe that for a single minute that lowering the base rate actually increases demand. That is not true. Anyway, 12 o'clock, you know, it starts to going back up again. By 11 it goes back up again as well. Probably they want to come back from the hospital, I think. Base rate to £1.10. By 2 p.m. we're back to normal base rate to £1.40. It stays along there for 3 a.m. Say the school's finishing now, as an example, all this, and then right, you might even get one for a base rate of £1.70 at 4 p.m. So this is just to illustrate how a fluctuation of base rate can be determined. Okay, so let's move on to the next stage now. Sorry, there's a lot of writing here, and obviously I'm not a professional YouTuber. Normally they would have charts and all that, you know, thingy, but never mind. Right, on your email, they are saying, they're highlighting that time and distance and surge will not be affected at all, and there's a reason for that, actually, which end of the video we'll find out why they actually say that, because that is quite important at the same time. So let's just do a hypothetical equation, and let's see how much you can be affected. Now, firstly, let me say this is an extreme extreme figure I'm taking, really, because I'm saying here basically your variable rate is nil. In some cases it won't be nil, so we'll try and work around that as well. So firstly, let's have a look at that. Right, your minimum fare is £4.25, right? And that's because the job was under 10 minutes and less than 2 miles. Obviously certain things has to be triggered off before that actually makes a move. Right, out of that, yeah, if you're a 25% commission driver, you'll lose £1.06p, leaving you with £3.19. Okay, now what they're saying here now, right, and this is one of the reasons you're seeing this £2 and £3 drivers are getting paid, because if that variable rate becomes 0, you're going to lose the whole of your £1.40, leaving you with £1.79. So that is the problem, and that is why you're seeing a lot of drivers showing very, very low figure. Right, let's look at it a bit more in depth. Let's look at someone who's well, I'm calling them a hard-working driver. Right now, this guy does 150 jobs for Uber. Now, if he was to lose £1.40 per job, he would actually lose £210 per week. Now, again, I keep saying this is quite premature, the way I'm working these out, because the actual where you really work it out is you have 100 jobs all the way down here, and every job you find out what your base rate is, and that's easily done, by the way. If you just go to Waybill, you'll tell you the actual rate they're charging you on the base rate. So you add them up. So one's 25, they're saying the next one is £1.10, then the one after is £2.40 base rate. And you add all of them up. I mean, I've already done 3. Obviously, I'm not going to do 100, and that would become £3.75. All that divided by 3, your average base rate is £1.25, and that is still lower than what we are being paid. I am predicting that a guy who's doing that many jobs here, 150 jobs a week. I know it's a lot of jobs. He would be actually looking to be losing around 60 to 70 pound per week. So if you're doing 150 jobs, my prediction is, you're looking around 60, 70, not 210. Obviously 210 is a bit extreme, but that's the maximum you can lose doing 150 jobs. But my guess is you'll be looking around 60, 70 pound loss per week. Okay, now we're going to wrap this video up, and we are going to come to the truth of what is exactly happening under the skin of Uber, and what they don't want you to know, and what we're going to know from watching this video. Right, look at this. This is what it's all about. £4.25 a job, right? Minimum fare, a job you're going to get, right? You've paid £1.70. You are paid £1.79 for that job. Right, you've actually paid a commission rate of 43%, right? And this is obviously the base rate being 0, by the way. Right, let's look at a £10 job. A £10 job will be made up of £2.50 commission and £1.40 base rate. That's a £3.90 total deduction. Can you see that there? Right, so that you are paid £3.90 in deduction total, and you are paid £6.10. Right, now the commission you've actually paid there is 39% on a £10 job. So what you're looking right is commission. They could actually increase their commission by up to 43%. This is what the whole thing is about. What they've actually done, they haven't decreased your earnings, your pay. What they've done is increased their commission, and obviously that in return that decreases your pay. So I'm sorry about that. But obviously 43 is a bit too high. I want to be quite realistic to what's happening, because obviously, as I said earlier, not all the time the base rate is going to be at 25p or whatever it is. It's going to fluctuate. But my guess is right. The commission rate is going to be averaging around 33%. So that's an increase of about 8% if you're on 25% driver. So this is what it is. I hope you understand that the whole thing, the lie about Uber increasing your jobs and all that, is total lie. What has actually happened is they have increased their commission, and they have done in a way that which they could fluctuate how much you earn. They could charge you whatever, but let's take an average of around 33%. That is how much Uber commission has gone up by. Now it's all up to you now. If you want to work for them, if you don't want to work for them, whatever it is. But the whole truth behind it, it's an increase of commission, right? And I'll finish off by now. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye now.